whispers are getting softer. Shouting is getting harsher.
Welcome back to the Purple Pod. My name is Steve.
I'm Ken.
And I'm Cody.
And this is the Purple Pod, the best K-State podcast out there. We're going to be talking about K-State at Texas Tech. We're excited to get back into things here. But Cody was gone for our last episode to recap K-State at Oklahoma State. Let's go to him first. I want to hear your thoughts overall on K-State's loss 29-21 at Oklahoma State last weekend.
That was a tough one to swallow. I don't really have words to defend the Cats as much as I would like to in this situation. Steve, you've always been critical on the DBs, and I can't defend it anymore. They gave up a ton of yards through the air to a quarterback who was not proven. They gave up, 170-plus yards rushing, and they're supposed to have one of the best rushing defenses in the country. Will Howard, 3 interceptions. That's not the Will Howard I know, but I'll talk more about that when we get into our Texas Tech preview. But I am thoroughly disappointed in the way they performed. But I did say, there's some type of hoax with Stillwater. I don't know what it is, but the Cats seem to always struggle in Stillwater, and they just laid an egg, and it's hard to swallow. But luckily, no worries. I'm a K-State fan. I'm jaded. I have been through much heartbreak, sorrow, and pain, so I will survive.
Yeah, I was a student during the Ron Prince years, so this is nothing. This is nothing on that. Enough about K-State at Oklahoma State. There's a ton of issues we're going to talk about, but we're going to get into our preview here of them at Texas Tech. Kenny, I want to hear your initial thoughts of K-State at Texas Tech. Do you think K-State's going to pull out the win? I believe Texas Tech is favored by 1.5 points.
Well, I'm going to say this right off the jump. K-State fans, this is the first game all year where K-State is the underdog going into a game. All right. So we saw what happened when we went against Mizzou. We were big favorites there. They ended up beating us by a field goal. We came back home. We took care of business. We had a bye week to help, heal some people and then also get some people up to speed that were, coming in off of some people that were out for the season, like Daniel Green, Austin Romaine coming in to get him up to speed. We saw what happened last week. I don't know. Maybe it was just an off day. God, I really want to say it's just an off day. A lot of uncharacteristic mistakes, some unforced mistakes that had happened. I want to say that it was just an off day. And you know what? We're human beings. We can have an off day every once in a while. I just hope everybody's back on track. We're back. We're focused again. We can't just keep going in expecting that these teams are going to give us the win. All right. Like, we got to go in, we got to work hard. We got to take it from them. So being the underdogs in the first game of the season where the defending Big 12 champs are underdogs, I feel like this is kind of our, we kind of like being the underdogs. I feel like, because it makes us want to work for it. And I feel like that's the difference between K-State and other college programs, is that we are hard workers and we always seem to be doubted. And then we just, we always prove people wrong based on our work ethic. And I'm hoping that that's the case here. I hope that we go back this week. We're super focused. Everybody's on the same page. Will fixes whatever was going on last weekend. We go into this week and we just kind of prove to the country that we're still a team to be scared of, a team that people shouldn't sleep on. This is third away game this year. After a loss, it's Stillwater. I said this last week. Let's not let that loss linger on to this week. We need to focus on the next team, and they're a better, in my eyes. I do agree that they're a better team on paper than Oklahoma State, but we just saw, I guess, the teams, what's on paper doesn't matter. Not in college football, apparently. Nope. because we saw K-State was favored almost the entire scope of offense, defense, special teams, and we still didn't win. So It's one of them things where it's going to just come down to who wants it more, who's working hard for it. Cody, what do you think?
I've been drinking the Kenny Kool-Aid, though, because the 2 times you said we're going to walk all over them, they should just give us the W. I was like, oh, yeah, that's right. Let's do it.
0-2.
Here's the thing.
I'm going to say that we're going to get the W every time. All right. Let's just be honest.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. But Mizzou, sell out. Stillwater, sell out. Texas Tech under the lights, sell out. If K-State is going to compete for a Big 12 title, they have to win on the road. They are 0-2 on the road this year. They couldn't win in Columbia out of conference. They couldn't win in Stillwater. Now they have an important game against Texas Tech, who quite frankly is doing something that Kansas State is supposed to be really good at, and that's running the ball and K-State defending the run. They gave up too many yards last week on the ground. If we're going to talk about keys to victory and all that stuff later, K-State has to stop the run, because their running back is coming in with 4 straight 100-yard games.
Yeah, this game is not at the right time for K-State whatsoever. Like, K-State started here, Texas Tech started here. Texas Tech is going in this direction. K-State is going in this direction. If you can't see, if you're just listening to us, K-State's going down while Texas Tech is going up. It feels like Texas Tech has played a pretty tough schedule.
Yeah.
Honestly, they've played Wyoming, who's 5-1. They've played Oregon, who's undefeated. They played West Virginia on the road, who's 5-1 as well. 4-2 Tarleton State. I mean, they've played some good teams, and they've struggled early. Their quarterback went down, but I mean, they just dropped 39 points last week, and we know that K-State has not won a single game this year when they've not scored at least 40 points. And the offense looked, let's be honest, it looked dreadful last week against a pretty bad Oklahoma State team. I'm not going to lie. K-State, if they replay that game, I feel like K-State wins still 8 or 9 times out of 10. I don't think Oklahoma State is even that good. They look good that day. K-State should have won that game. I mean, the pick six, that's 7 points, right? K-State going for it on 4th and 3 from its own 31 or 32, give it another 3 points, right? K-State decided not to kick the field goal early in the game. That's another 3 points. They went for 2, didn't get it. That's another point. That's 14 points right there that could have made the difference in the game. When you look at the fact that K-State lost by a touchdown, it almost feels like this is like gut check time. Like, this is not the game you want to be playing right now, but it's a card you're dealt. Like Chris Kleiman talked today about, the fact that he honestly, he seemed like a guy that was not very happy with the locker room. He was not very happy with the team. He was not very happy with the way his team is playing right now. Will Howard said, we're not very good right now. He said it after the game. It felt like this is probably the most down I had seen Coach Kleiman this year. Do you guys feel like this is like a make or break game for K-State, like a must win game for K-State, Kenny?
Well, I want to start out by saying, when you say that Oklahoma State looked good, I don't think they looked good. I think both teams just looked really, really bad, which is not a good look for the Big 12. But I think Oklahoma State is actually playing to their level. I think K-State just had a really bad day coming off of a bye week. Their second away game. I don't know what it is about these away games, but we are not figuring it out. But we played worse there than we did in Missouri by a long shot. We just didn't look like we were in it. It looked like we were phoning it in. But again, to your question, is this make or break? I mean, if you're a K-State fan, you want to win every game. It's going to just be easier. Like, thanks to OU beating Texas.
That was huge.
That's huge for us, because it allows us to be in control of our own destiny in terms of if we're going to get to Arlington to defend our title. It allows us to be able to be in the driver's seat. If we lose this game, we're not in the driver's seat anymore. We can't. We have to hope that Texas loses a few more games down the road, which can happen. But is this make or break? Like, at the end of the day, it's just it's another football game, you know, and you want to win these games. It's the Big 12. We're a tough conference. I don't care what SEC fans say. We're a tough conference. This is not an easy walk in the park conference. So there's going to be tough teams that are going to want it just as bad as us. And you know, it just comes down to who's got the players, who's showing up to get it done. I think this is arguably going to be our toughest opponent, despite what the record says. You know, I honestly believe that Texas Tech right now and K-State right now, it's going to be a good game. I'm excited about this game. You know, just going off of the fact that we haven't looked good in away games, but I'm just playing off of this idea like, okay, let's say we get it back together. Let's say we actually, Will Howard isn't throwing like an idiot. Let's say that like Will Howard's making good decisions again. Let's say like all that's coming together. And then our defense is playing around the same. I think that's going to be great for us. I think it's going to be a back and forth game. I think it's going to be exciting. I still believe that our run defense is absolutely insane. You know, it's just going to come down to execution, man. Like, but again, is this make or break? Technically not really, because last year we lost how many games? 3 games. We lost 3 games. We still were able to make it to the Big 12 championship. So,
you know, I'm glad you're staying with your original dogs. When you were talking about the preseason picks, you thought Texas and Texas Tech were going to be losses. You know, I'm always going to pick K-State, but you're right. I mean, you mentioned a lot of things I wanted to kind of tap into tonight, but I feel like you did a good job covering it, how serious of a game this is for the Cats. But I do think it's make or break time. If they lose this game, I know I mentioned it last episode, like, you know, if K-State loses to Oklahoma State, are we going to be in panic mode? And we kind of laughed it off and thought, yeah, because that would never happen. But here it is, boys. We are in it right now, and we got to find a way to make it right.
I agree. And Cody, I want to ask you, do you think K-State's issues are solely with the quarterback? I mean, Will Howard has thrown an interception every single game, 3 last week. One of them returned for a touchdown. And he's had in the 2 losses for K-State had the ball tied, 3 minutes left in the game, had the ball, and Will Howard and K-State offense could not convert. What happens? Missouri gets the ball, they come down, kick a field goal, and wins the game. Same situation at Oklahoma State. K-State had the ball twice in the last 5 minutes, thanks to the defense by getting a couple stops, and both times K-State's offense, specifically Will Howard, cannot come down and score. Do you feel like K-State's biggest issues right now are the quarterback and receivers, or do you feel like it's something else?
I think that one's a multifaceted response, because if you think about the way the Cats are playing, we mentioned that receivers have to get open, right? So yes, there's that piece of the puzzle. Will Howard, where's the Will Howard I fell in love with last season, right? Where is that Will Howard, the one that put the whole team on his back and led us to a Big 12 title? Where's that Will Howard? Because I missed that Will Howard. He was the man, the myth, and the legend. So I think it's both. I think it's quarterback play, and I think it's the receivers. We had injuries. We got to get over that, though. I mean,
do you think we're back to 2020 Will Howard? Is that what you're thinking?
I hope that's not the case, because, yeah. I need Trill Will back. You know, he needs to get his Mojo Dojo Casa house. He's kin enough for me. I need him to get back.
I just think it was an off day, man. He was injured. What's amazing is that he looked better injured in the UCF game, playing injured and beat up. And you know what? Like, to all those K-State fans, look, if we didn't put Avery in the Oklahoma State game, there's no way we're putting him in against Texas Tech. I disagree. I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I think if Will lays an egg, I think we might start seeing him coming in. If he puts the same performance that he did against Oklahoma State, which I don't believe that's going to be the case. Yeah. I do not think that I think Will is going to figure out what is going on, and he's going to fix it. I have faith in that. But I think so. I guess we're talking about the offense now.
we'll get into it here. We're talking about K-State's issues, and then
Yeah, like I don't like it's what Cody said. It's not one thing. It's not one player. It's the whole team. Coach Kleiman did say in the conference, the defense isn't doing any turnovers. Okay, we're not helping out the offense at all, getting short field advantages on the other end of the football. So it's like,
to add to your point, the offense has done a good job of giving their defense the ball with Will Howard throwing 7 picks. Like he has 9 touchdowns and 7 picks right now, just to add kind of to what you were saying.
Yeah, I know. Like, I'm not saying that it like, again, that like Will was pretty hard on himself in that interview, saying like he takes a lot of the responsibility. I don't necessarily believe in that it's all on him, but I mean he's the captain, so he's going to take responsibility. That's
you're
the
a
kind
senior
of guy
quarterback and captain who won a Big 12 championship game last year. You better take that responsibility.
Yeah, and he is, and I respect that. And the thing is what he said was there's a lot of bad decisions that he's making. Yeah. It just comes down to it. It's like the issue that I had about Oklahoma State with the whole Avery Johnson thing was that if you have a guy on the bench, if you're going to plan on running the ball like QB run style, how are you not at least giving some snaps to him when you know that he's somebody that can at least help you? Talk about burning the red shirt. This is a once in a generation talent we have just chilling on the bench. I don't think he's going to be there for more than 4 years. That's my opinion. I'm not sure. Like, I could be wrong about that, but
lucky if we get 3.
Seriously, man. Like, he's insane. Like, his first ever drive in a Big 12 not in Big 12, but first big drive ever in D1 college. He makes a touchdown himself running it in. It's unreal. The guy's insane. But if you were going to do that, at least if you got a quarterback that's struggling and you have this guy that could help, if you have a guy that can help, let's see what can happen. Now, Mr. Savage on the last episode, he's like, well, what if you put him in and it could have been worse? It's like, well, we'll never know, like we're never going to know because we didn't see it. But if we didn't put him in then, I am almost certain, like, if they're putting their chips on Will in a game that we could have won, arguably, I would say we could have won, like Steve said, 8 out of 10 times. I think if they're gonna go with Will in that situation and not put Avery in because they're worried about the red shirt, I
don't think they're worried about the red shirt. He said he wasn't worried about the red shirt today at the conference, and I feel like the coaches understand. Right now, K-State's backs are against the wall, like Oklahoma State's was last week. K-State's like back is against the wall, and they know they have to do whatever it takes to win. I feel like if it's 3rd and 2, 3rd and 3, 3rd and 1, and K-State's planning on running the quarterback, we're going to see Avery Johnson this week. We're going to see him. That's my personal opinion. I don't know if it's going to happen, but that's what I feel like is going to happen. And you guys are right. This is not the same Will Howard as last year. As a quarterback last year, Will Howard only lost 1 game as a starting quarterback. The other 3 losses, Adrian Martinez started. Tulane, Texas, and believe it or not, TCU, the first time Adrian Martinez started that game. So that's 3 losses. In this year, Will Howard already has more losses as a starting quarterback through 5 games than he did all of last year. That's crazy. Now, we've been talking about K-State's issues for a while. We do need to get into some stuff here about K-State's offense versus Texas Tech's defense, all of that. Let's bring up the stats graphic here. Is this the right one? This is. Here we go. All right, here we go. So K-State has basically the advantage almost across the entire board here. K-State's scoring offense is still doing pretty well here, 26th in the country against a 50th scoring defense. Total offense, 25th in the country against a 67th total defense for Texas Tech. Passing offense still in the top 50 at 48th, going against a 93rd pass defense. Rush offense for K-State is in a top 20 at 19th overall after rushing for 200-plus yards last week. And then the rush defense for Texas Tech is 48th. I want to go to Cody this time. I want to ask you, what do you feel like K-State's going to do here? Do you feel like K-State is going to run the ball, be in a top 20 rushing offense? Or do you feel like they're going to try to instill some confidence back into Will Howard and come out throwing the ball?
You know, if Will Howard continues to struggle, Two things. One, I think he's probably still suffering some type of remnants from an injury. I don't think it's because of lack of will or want to or training. I think he is the person to be doing this job. But K-State is going to need to be able to throw the ball against Texas Tech. They're not known for their defensive backs.
Agreed.
In fact, they're really good at running the ball right now, and that's one of my keys to victory that I was going to talk about later, but I guess I can get into that right now. Taj Brooks has 4 games in a row with 100 yards rushing, which no other running back at Tech has done since Ricky Williams in 98, and he's rushed for 1582 and 13 touchdowns. He's number 5 running back in the country. So they're going to run the ball, and their defensive line is healthy right now. They have Doda Banks back, and the Bears had 3 yards. Baylor Bears had 3 yards rushing on 18 attempts. That Texas Tech defensive line was insane. That's 0.16 yards or 6.5 inches a carry. Ridiculous. Crazy. It's ludicrous. Shout out to Ludacris with chicken and beer in the red light district. But yeah. And then if you include the stats with their starting running back, they had 12 yards on 10 carries, which is about 2.5 feet a carry. I think we're in trouble, boys. I really think we're in trouble because we were supposed to be a good team at stopping the run, and Oklahoma State ran all over them. Now we have more injuries. I don't know if Parrish is going to play. I don't know if Will Lee is going to play. Siegel looked good. He finally blocked something, and I've been wanting the boys to get a block, field goal, or blocked punt all year. But this is a scary game to me. This game, I'm less confident than I was with Oklahoma State and Mizzou. Like, this was that team at the beginning of the year had all the hype. Like, some people thought that this team was a Big 12 title contender. And now they're 3-3 with losses against good teams. They've only lost to Wyoming, a one-loss team. They've only lost to Texas, a one-loss team, and they
lost West Virginia, who's a one-loss team, and then Oregon, who's undefeated.
Yeah, sorry, my apologies. Yeah, so yeah, I don't know, man. West Virginia's looking good right now, undefeated in the conference. Maybe the road goes through Morgantown. I'm afraid to say, or even possibly Lawrence at this point if we lose this game. So we got to find a way to get it done.
So Cody didn't really answer my question. I guess he kind of did by saying they want to instill confidence back in Will Howard. Kenny, I want to ask you the same question. Does K-State run the ball, or does K-State pass the ball against Texas Tech?
No, man. We're a running team. We're a running team through and through. I think we proved that by Will's run last week. We proved it with DJ Giddens' performance the week before that. We got Tyler Ward actually. Ward was amazing.
Trayshawn Ward.
Trayshawn Ward was amazing. I thought he played really well. Could have done better, but I think a lot has to do with the line. Dude, it just seemed like we were not checked in on that game. That's why I'm really I'm not really looking at Oklahoma as like, oh man, this is really what K-State looks like. I feel like we just weren't checked in there, but I'm not, I don't think that is what we're going to end up doing here in this game. I think we're going to run the ball. I think we're going to run it really well. I think that is typical K-State brand football is running the dang ball. But, we're going to throw some ball. We're going to throw some passes here and there. I think right now, and this is just me, it looks like Ben Sennett is like the only sure target to throw at right now. I
agree.
I don't think anybody else.
The receivers are not doing well right now. They're not getting open.
No,
they're not getting open.
There's no deep threats. There's not a single deep threat on the team.
And the pocket's been good too, and he's still not able to get it.
I will give some grace to Oakley. That was a crazy. He should have caught that, but I mean, it looked like targeting to me. I don't know.
The tight ends other than Ben Sennett cannot catch.
Yeah, I know. And that's tough. Like that's why I'm saying it's hard for Will Howard to. If you don't got receivers that can get open, it's going to be really hard. And
yeah, Will Howard's going to have to play the game of his life. It feels like this week because even though K-State's got the advantage almost across the board, when you look at Texas Tech and who they've played, I mean that's kind of why. Their defense is where it's at, and their quarterback on their offense got hurt. And so they didn't know who they're going to play. So their offense was struggling. So their defense had to play more. I'm worried about this game specifically. I mean, like I said, Texas Tech scored 39 last week. K-State scored the least amount had scored all year, and it did it against the worst defense they played, arguably the worst defense they played all season. I'm very worried about this game. I don't know if Will Howard is 100%. I mean, Mr. Savage made it seem like he is. I don't know if I believe that. I don't know if I agree that he's 100% right now. He does not look 100%, but like you said, the receivers are not getting open. We don't have a single deep threat. Ben Sinnott can't catch all the passes. So it almost feels like K-State needs to get the running backs more involved.
DJ Giddens, man, like he was the leading.
Run the ball.
Yeah, well, he was also the leading receiver in the UCF game as well. So I mean, where's Phillip Brooks at? Where's RJ Garcia, man? Where are these guys?
Phillip Brooks looked uninterested to me, man. Like they were not on the same page on that interception. He was not blocking for him on that third down, which ended up being
Jaden Jackson was close in making a play, but
I don't know what's going on. The receivers just did not look good at all, and Will Howard didn't look good either. Like Will Howard had 11 yards passing at halftime. That's not all. That's not all on the receivers, right? The receivers didn't throw 3 interceptions, right? Yeah. But they didn't look good either. They looked bad. They looked really, really, really bad as well. If you're K-State, though, you use both Trayshawn Ward and DJ Giddens, or do you kind of just like go with the hot hand, or do you go for one over the other? What do you think?
I think it seems like they're going to end up they're going to just keep swapping them back and forth. I really like I like that idea of swapping them. I think they both have strengths. I'm gonna fix my camera a little bit here. They both have strengths that suit them really well. And I mean, we saw that DJ Giddens can run the ball by himself really well. But I mean, we're now seeing that the UCF rush defense is not even that great at all, because KU just ran it down their throat like nobody's business. So it's almost looking like it wasn't even that really impressive that DJ Giddens did that, because UCF defense doesn't look that great. No. But despite that, I still think that he's good. But I think they need to keep trading off. I think they're both talented running backs. I think they both have a place on that field. And they both have different styles, but I love what was the reference that Cody gave, like Sonic and Knuckles or something like that?
Yeah, Sonic and Knuckles.
Yeah, and I think it's suited really, really well. Again, I mean, we talked about Avery Johnson. I mean, if you're going to be running the ball, this is our brand of football. I don't think he's going to go in. I think because Will's got wheels too. I mean, it helps when you're 6'5" and each step you take is like 7 yards.
Avery Johnson was not getting caught on that 70-yard near touchdown run that Will Howard had. Avery Johnson wouldn't have got caught. No way. No way in hell.
He also would have broke through a lot of those like shoelace tackles that
he probably would have scored a touchdown on that 3rd and 1 where Will Howard just fell down because Phillip Brooks wasn't blocking for him. Cody, I wanted to ask you, do you feel like K-State needs to get the running backs more involved in a passing game with the receivers struggling?
I mean, they kind of have to. You got to think about Trayshawn Ward. He's been best coming out of the backfield on those short routes and getting yards after the carry. And same with Giddens. Kenny mentioned it, leading receiver against UCF. And now that UCF game doesn't even look that good. So they got to get open because no one else on the outside perimeter is making the play. We are no threat down the field right now. And that's scary because watching Will play all of last year, he was throwing lasers, beautiful, nice touch. He was not overthrowing receivers like he is right now. So, I mean, part of it is we got to figure it out. But those running backs, if Will's going to continue to struggle and we're not going to run Avery Johnson, the running backs, I guess, have to be the offense. I mean, on the ground and through the air.
I agree. Do you guys got anything else you guys want to say on the K-State offense before we get into the K-State D?
I just want to say, like, it's cool, like, looking at the stats breakdown, but we saw what this looked like last week. I mean, it was all K-State favored. So I don't want to just go off of this and say, like, oh, yeah, well, clearly K-State has the advantage here. Well, it doesn't matter if Will Howard's not playing like he's supposed to. It doesn't matter if the receivers aren't doing what they're supposed to. It doesn't matter if the offensive line is is off and they're trading people around, moving people around at different in spots like that because something's not going right. Doesn't matter. Like it matters if you show up, you take care of business, then it will reflect on the stats. So I want to have confidence in this how K-State is favored based on the stats, but time will tell. We'll see this Saturday. We'll see.
Cody, got anything, or should we move on to the D?
Yeah, let's move on to the D. I mean, K-State move on to the D. But K-State has to win on the road at just point blank and simple. 4-1 last year on the road. They just had to win on the road.
K-State has not lost to Texas Tech in about 10 years. I believe, looking at it, I believe 2013.
K-State has won the last 7 games.
2015, maybe the last time K-State has lost to Texas Tech. So it's been, and even before that, like I think K-State's like 9 or 10-1 against them in the last 10 or 11 meetings. So
yeah, they are 12-2 in the last 14 meetings. Yeah.
So there you go. There you go. Thank you so much for that information there. All right, let's move on to the K-State defense here. K-State scoring defense is up to 40th in the country, allowing basically 20.5 points per game. Scoring offense for Texas Tech, even though they played a couple different quarterbacks, they feel like they found something in the running game. So their scoring offense is 34th in the country, averaging 34 points per game. Total defense for K-State still in the top 50, averaging 352.5 yards per game. Texas Tech's offense averages just under 400 yards per game, 63rd in the country. The biggest difference, it feels like, is K-State's pass defense is still pretty bad. They're 106 in the country, allowing basically 260 yards through the air per game. Passing offense for Texas Tech is not great, though. They average 220 yards basically per game at 81st in the country. K-State rush defense is still in the top 15 despite last week's game, averaging basically 94 yards allowed per game. And then the rush offense for Texas Tech is 43rd in the country, basically at 180 yards per game. How worried are you guys about K-State's ability to stop basically anyone passing the ball, despite the fact K-State only allowed 1 touchdown last week? It did feel like it was a bend but don't break game. I think Kenny told me in the post game that K-State forced Oklahoma State to 6 field goals, blocking 1, and then they made the other 5. I mean, that is 7 possessions if you include the touchdown as well. They're basically allowing the other team to score. Thankfully, a lot of them were field goals, but it feels like the K-State defense has been struggling mightily, specifically against the pass all season. What do you think, Kenny?
Well, it comes down to this. Looking at this stats breakdown, I'm actually not even afraid of their offense. Honestly, I mean, it's actually, it kind of makes me okay. Like, I mean, they're averaging through the air. They're only averaging about 290 yards, but we've averaged more than that. I mean, that just goes to show that there might be some give there. We might have been going against some more superior passing offenses than theirs. I mean, you said it yourself, they like to run the ball more than they like to pass. Yeah. So in terms of the passing, we keep bringing up the fact that they're young, but it actually is looking like that's a serious reason, because the lack of experience is really showing. Miscommunication, not being on the same page as where we need to be, finishing the tackles. Luckily we're solid up front. We're pretty solid in linebacker position, and Kobe Savage is probably, pulling his hair out right now, trying to get these guys, on the same page. I mean, this guy playing with NFL, an NFL secondary, going from that to some underclassmen, really just trying to get these guys together on the same page. I think he's going to have to come up big. He's going to have to rally the guys, being a leader there. Him, Austin Moore, Uso, all in those like specific roles on the field. They all have to step up and really just kind of, really take control of the defense. And, Steve, you went over it. They allowed 1 touchdown. Yeah, okay, they gave 5 field goals to them. You know, that I am much more I would rather have a defense that doesn't allow anybody in the end zone and just giving you field goals to give our offense a chance to go down and get a touchdown. I'd rather have that than a defense that, you know, just lets them go and get some more points, you know. So like stopping them where they can, more power to them. You know, I'm excited to see this defense continue to get better. I was really, really happy with the fact that they prevented, you know, end zone touchdowns. You know, like I was like, hey, this is if you had to find something to look forward at, you know, to like a bright side, you know, an optimistic part of the game, it's the defense was holding these guys, you know, to only 3 points of possession. So I want to see what's going to happen. I just think it was just a bad day. I want to get that past us. We did a good job in the past. You know, we it shows right here. We haven't let that many points go. Total scoring defense, 20 points per game average. That's pretty dang good, man. Like you're holding them to, you know, just under 3 touchdowns. I think that's pretty good. I don't want to harp on them too much. I know we've said it 1,000 times on this podcast already. It's only been 10 episodes and we keep harping on this passing defense. I just want to move past that. I think Kobe's going to get it done. He's eventually going to, you know, figure out a way to rally the guys and move ahead. Cody, what do you think?
I mean, I like what you mentioned about they give up a lot of yards in the air, but they didn't give up a receiving touchdown. They gave up 238 yards in the air. But what still concerns me is the fact that defense gave up 419 yards. It's great that they held them to those 5 field goals, so they bend but didn't break. But Texas Tech is going to be better than Oklahoma State. And if that's how they performed against someone that poorly, that is a big problem for me. And I've always been one to defend the DBs. I always had their back. But if they don't come up and play next week, they are going to be in big trouble because we are going to give up an explosive play to Texas Tech. Even though they haven't done it yet this year, we've been primed to give teams their best games of the season right now, especially on the road in a sold-out environment. So everyone brings their A game to us.
Well, and you just said it, Cody. They're going to try to do big explosive plays because K-State – okay, Kenny talked about it too. K-State lost 3 DBs to the NFL. 3 guys. The 3 guys are in NFL right now. They're in our defensive secondary last year, okay? Both of K-State's starting corners are both hurt right now. One is not playing this week, Will Lee. Jacob Parrish is questionable. And so you know, I mean, looking at the numbers, K-State's pass defense is not good. And now they're playing against backups. Like they are 100%, like Cody said, they're going to take some shots. They're going to try some big explosive plays. And that is very worrisome for me. I feel like K-State is going to have to blitz almost every play to try to get back there, take some risks, try to get some interceptions, fumble recoveries.
Got to turn over the ball.
Yeah, K-State has not. I mean, when was the last time K-State had? I guess they had 2 against UCF, but I mean, they didn't have a single one against Missouri. They didn't have a single one at Oklahoma State while giving away 3 that game. K-State's going to have to take some risks to try to get rewarded by it by getting some interceptions and some fumble recoveries. Go ahead, Cody.
And Steve, just to back up your point again, the turnover margin, they're -3 on the season, and Will Howard is responsible for 7 of those turnovers this year by himself. One of them was a pick 6. And then our red zone defense has actually improved, but that's still a glaring issue for us that we have to fix. And we've improved. We were 100%, whereas every team came into the red zone, scored a point. So we've improved to 92.3%.
Because of the block field goal.
Because of the block field goal. That's the only time all year we didn't give up points in the red zone. And so those are the two issues that we have to fix. And just to go to your point, if our defense isn't going to show up, we're sunk.
I agree. Kenny, got anything else on the K-State defense?
I think I'll leave it up to the K-State hot take for the defense.
Oh shoot, Cody, got anything else on the K-State defense? No. All right, let's go ahead and we're gonna pull up the stats of war graphic here.
We got some low energy today, boys.
Well, that's what happens when you lose. Like if you guys watch like Chris Kleiman's post game and then his presser today, like he looks pissed, and every single fan feels the exact same way. Like K-State fans are fighting with each other because we keep losing, and we want someone to blame. You know what I mean? Like we just won the Big 12 last year.
Okay. I want to talk about this for a second. So, like, the K-State fan, listen, I know, like, you guys, you get ready, you throw on your K-State shirt, you put on your old little K-State hat, you got your little Smokies in the crock pot, you went and you got your 12-pack of beer, you're all set up on your couch, and then the K-State loses. And you're all butthurt and you think that it's, the world is ending and this is all not fair. But you know what? Nothing happened in your life. What the K-State players, this affects them way more than it affects you.
Because we don't get rings if they win. We don't get any Big 12 championship rings.
Nothing.
They do.
We don't get nothing happens to our careers when we lose. Nothing happens to our careers when we win. Nothing happened. We're just there to support the team. That's what we should be worried about is supporting the team. Listen, when you're on the couch and you're like, oh, why isn't the coach doing this? Why isn't the coach? Do you think that the coach is just up there, like, just, taking a piss or something? Like, he doesn't want to make, he's not like, they're not like trying to make the best decision to win the game. I think they know a little bit more about their team than we do. And I think they know how to coach their team a little bit more than we do. And I'm pretty sure the decisions that, look, hindsight's 2020, obviously, but like, if you think that you're going to make better calls than the coaches, you're out of your mind.
I'm pretty good at Madden, Kenny. All right. This feels like it's directed at me.
No, dude, like, I'm being dead serious. Like, these coaches, their livelihood is on the line. Of course, they're going to try to make the best call because if they don't make the good call, it's not like, oh man, we lost the game and then you go back to work. Like, their job is on the line potentially. So it's like, they're not like, they're going to do the best they can. So, man, K-State fans, you guys got to chill out. We freaking won a Big 12 championship last year. Like, we're just acting like it's just owed to us again. Like, all these wins, we should just walk in and just get the wins. On paper, we're good players, but what made us so good last year was that we weren't Big 12 championship. We weren't a Big 12 championship team. And we went and worked our asses off and we got it. We went and took the Big 12. Like, everyone counted us out. We weren't even supposed to be there. And guess what? We freaking worked our asses off and we made it there and we got the championship.
We definitely did.
Now we're coming back and we're coming back. We all I know Kobe's saying that no one's really like Hollywood, but I mean, we don't look like we're the hardworking team like that we were, especially when we see a game like that. That's the only thing that I'm like disappointed in is like, man, I thought we were supporting a team that is like full of like hardworking dudes, and it looked like they were just phoning it in last week, and it's just disappointing but at the end of the day, it's my life is not affected, not even close to as much as the people that are actually affected in the game. So the K-State fans just need to chill out, just go support the team. Be there, win or lose. Like, we're K-State fans till we die. All right, we bleed purple here. All right, let's not kill ourselves over this. Okay, like,
well said. Let's pull up the stats award graphic from Parker Clemming on Twitter. K-State favored by 1.5. Total over under is 56. K-State has a win probability of 56.5%. Projected score basically 33-30 if you're going to be rounding there. If you look at K-State's side, I mean, K-State has blue on almost everything except for the pass efficiency and then the first down and second down percentage. K-State has got to do better on on early downs.
I'm a little
because
confused, Steve. I thought you said that K-State wasn't Oh, this is never mind. This is a different person.
This is I mean, it has the spread up there. Sorry, it actually has Texas Tech K-State is not favored by 1.5. You are correct there. I don't know why I said that. Texas Tech is favored by 1 point or 1.5 points. And K-State has basically the advantage everywhere, but this again feels like the whole Missouri and Oklahoma State game where it doesn't matter. And the home team, it is tough to win road games in this conference. It just is. I mean, K-State hasn't won at Oklahoma State just one time in the last 25 years. Darren Sproles won a Big 12, didn't win there. Our Heisman Trophy candidate quarterback, Colin Klein, when he was a junior, did not win at Oklahoma State. I mean, Skylar Thompson, only quarterback to win there in the last 25 years. So that, it's really tough to win road games in this conference. So with that being said, Texas Tech favored by 1 point. Cody, I'm going to go to you first. Let's get your score prediction for Saturday. K-State at Texas Tech, Saturday night.
Yeah, I'm surprised they're only a 1 point favorite the way we played against Oklahoma State. I would figure maybe a 2 to 3 point favorite. It's funny to see we have the advantage in the win probability, but we're a 1 point underdog. So it's just strange to me for K-State to be the underdog in this game. They're supposed to be the better team. But we've just not seen what they're capable of achieving this year. Those 2 losses hurt, yes, but a third loss, and last year we ended up with 3 losses, but the rest of the conference wasn't as strong as the top is right now with Oklahoma and West Virginia. And then lo and behold, KU is good for some reason,
and Texas is still good. Let's be honest.
And of course Texas is still good. So I'm surprised we're only a 1 point dog. I'm just afraid Texas Tech is going to have their best game of the season against us. They're coming off a good game against Baylor where they did completely everything they wanted to defensively to stop the ball on the ground game. And I still think the Cats should win. I think it's going to be like 30-27 or 33-30. I just think it's going to be a 3 point game, and Chris Tennant's going to have to win it for us because it's going to be wire to wire, boys.
Yeah, I mean, that is something we had not even touched on, the special teams, which was not special, but it wasn't terrible either, I guess, last week. So you're taking basically the win probability here. K-State 33, Texas Tech 30. Kenny, you're usually the big purple glasses kind of guy. What's your score prediction this weekend?
All right. So I'm usually always saying that the opposing team, they're only going to be scoring like a few touchdowns. I actually have Texas Tech scoring 36, but K-State is going to get back on the train of 40 plus again. It's going to be 45-36.
45-36, huh? That's an odd score, but I guess they're going to hold them to a bunch of field goals, it sounds like. Another 5 field goal allowed game.
We'll give up 800 yards, but only 35 points.
36 points. Yeah, there you go.
36, sorry.
36, yeah.
All right, so we know K-State is undefeated when they score 40 or more points. And K-State defense has not looked good against the pass. I am going to I said to you guys that in our group chat, I said, I'm not sure I'm picking K-State to win. I'm going to pick K-State to win because I am a homer and I really need K-State to win for my sanity. I don't care about anything else. I hate losing almost. I hate losing almost more than I like winning. In fact, I know I do. I'm going to pick K-State to win 41-34.
Steve.
And yeah,
so
Chris
just
Simmons
less points than me. Just
yes,
yeah.
K-State's going to win 41-34, and I think it's going to be tied 34-34 late fourth quarter. Will Howard is finally going to get over the hump for this season and come down and score a game-winning touchdown. K-State 41, Texas Tech 34. Let's get into the K-State hot takes part of our show. This is where we give our hottest take of this weekend's game. Kenny, you came up with this segment. Let's go to you first.
My K-State hot take. My K-State hot take for this week against Texas Tech is Mr. Macho Man Kobe Savage coming in to get a pick 6. They're going to find one team is going to finally throw to him, and it's going to be Texas Tech, and he is going to take the ball right away from them. He's going to drive it all the way down to the end zone, and it's going to be glorious. Glorious. So that's my K-State hot take for this week. Kobe Savage, you the man.
Speaking of Kobe, let's go to Kobe or Cody or whatever. What's your K-State hot take?
I like your hot take. That was a good hot take, but it was lukewarm at best. Here we go. Will mother-loving Howard, what happened to that quarterback, right? He is on the hot seat. Last year, he came in. He was Will the Savior. He wore a cape. He fought crime. He led us to the plethora of fames and fortunes out there and a Big 12 title. But, hey, Will Howard, where's the Will Howard I fell in love with last year? I need him to make an appointment with me so we can figure out what's wrong with our relationship, because I need that Will back.
Is that your hot take? There you go.
That's my hot take. Will Howard is going to come back.
All right, my turn here. All right, so K-State's 3-2. Will Howard has thrown 7 interceptions this year, at least 1 in every game. And if you go back to the Sugar Bowl last year, he threw 2 in that game as well. 2, maybe even 3. So he has, I think, 9 or 10 interceptions just in his last 6 games. My hot take is he's going to throw 0 interceptions this weekend. He's going to throw for 3. I can hear Cody in the background. Yes. He's going to throw for 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. And again, like I said, K-State, he's going to lead K-State on a game-winning touchdown drive late in the fourth quarter to win 41-34. That is my K-State hot take. All right, now, what's up?
Those are like Cody's hot take was more of like a wishful thought, like a hopeful
just come back and be.
It's not
good
really
again.
like a take.
Yeah.
It's like I just hope.
No. Well, I mean, because Steve did a good job filling it in for me. He gave me all the Will Howard stats I needed. I was
So your hot take is Steve's hot take.
But all 3 of ours are pretty lukewarm.
We're gonna finally get a daggone freaking, we're gonna get a non-offensive touchdown. It has to happen one game this year. For crying out loud, I'm sick and tired.
You got like 2 or 3 in one game. They got another one last week. It's pissing me off.
I'm so sick and tired of seeing these other teams being able to pull it off against everybody else but us.
What's that mean? Lord, I've seen what you've done for everyone else. I want that for myself.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm referring to.
All right, let's look around the Big 12 here, and then we'll get out of here. West Virginia is a 3-point favorite at Houston this weekend, over under 51.5. Iowa State is playing at Cincinnati. Cincinnati is a 5-point favorite, over under 46. That's actually a pretty low over under. I feel like you should hit the over on that. KU favored by 3 at Oklahoma State, over under 57.5. BYU at TCU. TCU is reeling right now. They really are. The quarterback's hurt. TCU is still favored by 6 points at home against BYU. And then we have K-State at Texas Tech. Which one of these games, guys, are you most interested in seeing outside of the K-State game?
KU.
Yeah.
I want to see if they're for real. I want to see if Oklahoma State is for real.
I think they are for real. I think that KU is going to win big at Oklahoma State. I think Oklahoma State played one of their better games this season. I don't think they're that good. I think KU is going to win by 3 touchdowns. And what's going to make me even more nervous for our game?
What are you, an apologist for freaking KU now?
No, I'm just I'm. That's how down I am right now because I know K-State should have won last weekend, man. Like K-State should not have lost that game. Oklahoma State is not good. KU has looked really good. They dropped 51 on UCF. I think
I'm
I think
interested
they're
to
gonna-
seeing. I'm interested to see that game. I would also even tip my hat to the Iowa State Cincinnati game. It's Iowa State. They're looking good, but I also want to see what they look like outside of their home because they're winning all these games at home. This will be a good away game to see what they're really made of in Cincinnati, but Cincinnati hasn't looked that good either. So we'll have to see. We'll have to see.
Cody.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick with the KU game, and if KU's been playing this well, 5-1, and they're not even fully healthy at quarterback, that's I don't normally think this way, but KU is a team to watch for, and we have them coming up, so it'll be good to see what we need to plan for when we have the Sunflower Showdown, which is probably going to be sold out now this year.
Oh, 100%. 100% going to be sold out.
And we've struggled on the road. And so I'm definitely worried about the KU team. So I want to see if they're for real. And if they do drop 3 touchdowns, then I'm really going to be concerned.
Yeah, I know I'm going to be concerned. Unless Oklahoma State wins big, and then we'll be like, all right, well, what's going on here?
And I can't believe I've even saying that about KU, giving them respect in football. It just feels so. Ugh.
You guys are saying it. I'm not saying it. I'm not saying anything positive to the damn mythical birds. Okay.
All right, let's do this really quickly. West Virginia favored by 3. Yes or no? You guys taking that? Okay.
Yeah, they're gonna dominate that.
Over under 51.5. Yes. No.
I would say over.
Over.
I want to say under there. I also agree West Virginia by 3. That seems like a lock. That almost feels like, why is it so low? Cincinnati by 5 at home against Iowa State. Yes or no? You guys agree?
Yes.
Ken Giddens?
Yeah, I would say that.
All right. Over under 46. That's actually a pretty low over under. You guys taking the over or the under there?
I'm going to take the over because Cincinnati's going to score a lot of points, and then Iowa State's going to find a way to do something.
I'll say the over. I'm saying over.
Yeah, I'm taking Cincinnati by 5, and I'm taking it over as well. I agree with almost everything here. KU by 3 at Oklahoma State. Do you guys agree with that? You guys
agree?
You think
I am not. I'm going to root for Oklahoma.
Oh, I'm going to root for Oklahoma State hard. No doubt about it. But I think KU wins, obviously, like I said, by 3 scores. So
I think Oklahoma maybe by 1 score. I think it'll be similar to our game.
By 1?
I'm thinking Oklahoma State by 1.
1 touchdown? Wow.
All right. Over under is at 57.5. You guys taking the under or the over there? That feels kind of high.
Take the
over.
I'll take the over.
I'll take the under. It's too high. I'll take the under. It's too high. TCU favored by 6 at home without their quarterback against a 4-1 BYU team.
BYU is going to win at least by 2 touchdowns.
What? BYU that lost at KU?
Yes.
Yeah, TCU sucks this year.
I would do BYU on that line. I don't feel good enough to say that they're gonna win the game. Over under 53. I'm going to take the under.
I'm under there. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm under, and I also agree with you that I think BYU will cover the 6 points, but I also think they're going to win. I think BYU will just straight up get the W.
And then we already talked about K-State. We all think K-State's going to not just cover, but win. We all have the over as well. I think Cody was the only one close, like at 33-30. And then Ken and I both had like way over 60 or 70 points combined. So that is our thoughts around the Big 12 this weekend. You guys got anything else for episode 10 of the Purple Pod? I appreciate you guys coming on the channel. Cody hasn't been here for every episode, but this team is working pretty well together, and I appreciate both of you guys coming on.
We are finally in the double digits, baby. Yeah. Next goal, triple digits.
There we go. We need everyone to like and subscribe, share, hit the notification bell, all of that. Cody, I'm so glad to have you back, man. We missed you.
Yeah.
Thanks. Yeah, it was a scary Sunday with my daughter and her injury, but she's okay. She dislocated her, I think they called it the radial head at the top of the femur that connects to the elbow, and so she dislocated it.
Ouch.
And yeah, as a dad, being in the emergency room when they said they were going to have to reset it, that was
She's
hard
pretty
to
young,
hear.
right? Like
Yeah, she's 5. So, but I'm glad she's doing better, and I'm glad to be back, and I'll try not to miss any more episodes. I promise.
There we go. There we go.
That is a totally legit reason to. I have nothing against you doing that, man. Like, I would not even blink twice, dude. Like, I didn't. I was like, oh, dude, go.
Thank you guys.
And I
deal
know
with
that,
that.
and I know that you wanted to be on the episode more than almost anyone because I feel like Kobe Savage is like among your favorite players in K-State.
He is. He's one of my favorite players. I would have loved, I thought we had him on the week previous, and then it fell through, and so I was kind of sad ending and talk to him, but it'll be all right. Life goes on.
If you're a former K-State player, you're a teammate of a former K-State player, former roommate, family member of a K-State player, or former K-State player, let us know. We'd love to have you on.
This is a safe place. You're amongst family here.
There we go. This is nothing but family. Nothing but family. Well, I'm Steve.
I'm Ken.
I'm Cody.
And hopefully K-State wins this weekend. And go Cats, baby.
Go Cats.